Welcome to another session from LearnReason.com. My name's Matt, and this is part 15 in our Learn How to Mix video series. Today I'm going to work on the piano, the Rhodes, and these two organ parts, the high and the two here. The low organ is in this section of the song, and we're working on this section of the song. Let's talk about balance here for a second. And this will be a good time to talk about it. Here we have the broken organ here. It's right here, and you're going to see you have a lot of open space right here that I might have panned left or right when I start panning this area, and it's going to leave open spaces to put other things in or bring up volumes. It's just there's going to be open space, and we want to try and balance all this out. And I'm going to show you here. As we play this, we're starting to pan here. You can look in the output bus meter right here, and you're going to start seeing where you are, if you're heavy on the left side or heavy on the right side. So let's listen to this here for a second and just watch the meter. So we're pretty even. I mean, in a mix, you're never gonna want to have the stereo left and right perfectly 100% together. There's going to be times in the song where you have a little more going on the left side or a little more going on the right side. That's called dynamics. It's part of your song being dynamic. It's not just rigid. Okay, so I'm going to work on the piano here, and one thing I noticed was I've got the below C panned left and the malsynth panned right. So the way I'm thinking about this is I've got a lighter, easier sound on the left side and some heavier sounds on the right side. So it'd be advantageous to me to put the piano to the left. Now let's do this, and we'll bring it just to the left and listen to how that sounds with the below C, if you can hear it. Oh, here we'll go right here. You can hear it, it's nice. And then we have the Rhodes. We'll put that to the right and open it up a bit. See how you can hear the below C, you can hear everything. You can even hear the below C when the Rhodes goes off. Now let's, just for demonstration purposes, to point out exactly what I'm talking about, let's flip-flop these. The piano, we'll put the piano over where we have the harder stuff, the rougher stuff. That's what I call it. It's all terminology, however you want to go with it. But now listen to it, the difference. Listen for the below C. One thing that I find when I have the piano on the right side instead of the left side is that at the point in the song right now, the piano is kind of a focal point now. It's the instrument that is the most present, and we'll have the vocals going at the same time. When I have the piano to the right, I'm concentrating on the piano on the right, and I find it harder to hear the below C. And then on the left side, I've got the Rhodes. when you flip it around, it just works better because you have like elements. That's why I say you have like elements that will work together better. The piano and the below C work together better in the same space than the Rhodes does with the below C, and you can hear it. And one reason it works together, not only because they're like elements, but the below C is on the left side. So when you're listening to this piano, which is happening right now, it's the focal instrument right now. It's the one that's most present. You're listening to it already, and while you're listening to it, the below C is right there with it. So it's easier to hear it. This is what I call placing like elements together in spaces in the mix. That's the best way I can explain it, and I hope you understand it, and I hope that was a good example of it. So as we're going through here, we're going to have the high organ and the organ 2. And what we'll do is we'll just bring this guy down maybe to 78. And again, you can hold your shift key and get more precise. If I want to have two elements, way left or way right, I try and keep them at the same number. It's just order. You can place them anywhere you want. I'm just showing you what I do. Remember, there's a lot of opinion. I'm trying to keep everything as needed knowledge and giving you a demonstration of how I do things. So now let's listen to these two along with the piano and the organ and see how they sit in the mix. Okay, well, I'm going to have to be messing with some of these levels here because, the high organ is left along with the piano and the below C. They're like elements. But I'm not in the exact same spaces though. Here you can see I'm below 9 o'clock here, right here, over here, I'm right at 9. So if we just mess with some of these levels, then we can even it all out. Let's mess with some levels. You can see the piano drops off because now these are the focal point instruments right here. This is what we want to be concentrating on. So I think what he did is, yeah, he's got some automation here. So we'll just turn that off so we can adjust it ourselves here and hear what's going on. Yeah, that's going to work nicely. And we're going to have to, I want to separate the panning from doing all the leveling just for instructional purposes. And that's the way I would do it, if I was, when I'm mixing a song, I do it in sections. and it always helps me remember what I'm doing. I don't get out of order. It's just a tried and true method that I use. So I'm going to go through and get all these panned out right. Then I'm going to go through the tracks and get them all leveled. I'll probably be doing some automation, definitely, because during the mix, like right here is a perfect example of it. The piano, listen how loud it is in the mix. And then when we get into this point right here, it's gonna go down in volume so that these guys can be stand out in the mix better. Okay, I think that does it for this video. We got these guys spaced out pretty good, and I gave you a good example of placing like elements together in spaces. It's something to think about. And let's take one last look now that we've had these guys panned out. We've done a bunch of panning here, and let's see how we're sitting in our stereo output here. Okay, so I hope this video helps you out. I hope this series is helping you out, and just remember, here at LearnReason, everything's free, so the way you can help out is to subscribe, like, follow, and share. And I really look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. You take care.